Hello, Awesomes. Happy Friday. Hope everything's going well for you. I know that you're in the final stages of putting your research proposals together. I did get a few requests this week asking about samples, what they look like, just to kind of maybe get a gauge or to see what they look like. So I've uploaded a few for you here today. And the reason, and I just kind of want to point out a few things about them. So you'll notice that this one kind of takes the first approach, right, with the summary, the introduction, and then there'll be the plan of work, a description of qualifications. Follows that first outline. And this doesn't necessarily mean it has to be bullet pointed like this, and you don't have to detail it out necessarily in this exact same way. But this does give you some sort of an idea of an interpretation of what that looks like, each person's qualifications, and then taking kind of those categories. They did a very thorough job. So something to just think about. Of course, this was their, the names. They have their page number, etc. The project lifestyle, life cycle. You can see how they've gone through and kind of given the details. The works cited page. And then they had some works that they had consulted, but not necessarily quoted up there. So they've got those separated out in this particular way. But that's just one for you to make sure you have a title is always good. And this one here kind of takes a different approach. And so I want to point, the reason I pointed this out, and of course I had to black out the names for, I don't know what you call it, security reasons, privacy reasons, whatever. But we're required to do that. So, but do take note of the green, red, purple, blue. So what this group did in taking different tasks, and they split them up. So if we could see, we can kind of see right here that for this person's name was in red, right? And then this person's name is in blue. This person's name is in purple. This is in green, and so forth and so on. So each person's name was color coordinated with who had done what. And they did that through every single one of their projects. And I told them I was fine with it because it helped them organize it. And it helped them kind of keep things straight. That's just one way to do it. Okay. It's not the only way to do it. It was an option that they decided to do to help them keep organized. And then in the very, 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 very final project, then once they were done and everybody taking a look at it and was satisfied that everyone had contributed what they were supposed to contribute based on their font color, then they went through and just made made the text, the standard color. But anyway, so you've got, so this team kind of took a different approach to it. So what they did is they took some of the headings, but then they got down into here when they got into some of the description of the qualifications and the project's lifestyle. They then started kind of taking some of the bullet points from the second, quote unquote, the second option down there, and started adding those in to kind of give them an idea of, help them kind of explicate the different steps. So, right, list 3 to 5 possible sources. And so it's kind of a meshing a little bit, but it's kind of, both of them kind of still follow like a progression of sorts, if you will. But as long as everything is covered there, like I told you, and as like I told them, I was okay with how they did that. And so they even included, here's something, background information, secondary sources. They're very, very specific. I like the detail with which they provided. And it was just a different way of doing it, and it worked. So you can use this as a guide or an example if you want. They wrote paragraphs, whereas, you remember so this other example here, when they got to qualifications, they listed everybody out like this and did it that way. And here they each wrote a paragraph talking about their description of qualifications. So either one is fine. It's more. I kind of like to leave the formatting up to a little bit of creativity. I appreciated the creativity that this team did. I thought it was very, very interesting. It helped them stay on task, and I got the information that I needed because this particular document here too, right, is for me, right? It's not like the final project's going to have a little bit more of a rigorous, specific type of formatting, and I'm not necessarily overly concerned about the formatting, except I do as long as there are headings and subheadings that you use when necessary that really help this information make sense, right, to your audience. So you keep that in mind, you're good. So we're still talking